like fun to you? This is what we call a bluegrass jam. And you could join in too on Play Along with Taborgrass. Come and join us. One, two, three, four, 1, 2, 3, and play along with Taborgrass. Hello and welcome to Play Along with Taborgrass. My name is Greg Stone, and each week we learn a new bluegrass song for all of these instruments. The guitar that I'm holding, we have Steve over here on the fiddle, Linda on the mandolin, and Elliot on the banjo, and keeping us in time and on time, Dee on the bass. Also, I want to say hello to our Taborgrassers. Hello, Taborgrassers. Hi. Great. So, today's tune is Soldier's Joy, and what we're going to do is we're going to start out by just playing it up to speed so you can get an idea of what it sounds like. Remember, you can get the music to Soldier's Joy for all of these instruments, the instrument of your choice, on taborgrass.com. You go to Scores and Tutorials and download the music. It's all there on our website. So have the music in front of you at home, please, and as we demonstrate these instruments. Okay, let's play Soldier's Joy all together. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Great, that was fun. So now let's look at our backup, or the way we back up the tune. And this will be our exercises of the chord progression that we do for the tune. Let's do that first. So remember that the guitar emphasizes the 1 and the 3 beat for the 4 beat measure. So in other words, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a single note on the 1, which is the root of the chord. 1, 2, and then another single note, which is the alternate. A lot of time it's the 5 string. And that completes the measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So we're on the 1 and 3, the guitar and the bass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now everybody else, again, you remember, on the 2 and 4, on the opposite beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. You just do a nice strum on the 2 and 4. 1, 2. And that's the sound of bluegrass right there. That's the backup. So just follow your chord progression at home with that beat, and we should be just fine. 4/4 time. Okay, so now let's start with our demonstrations. We're going to start with the guitar, and first let's take a look at the sheet music. Here we have the sheet music for Soldier's Joy for guitar. We're in the key of D. As you see here, we start with a D chord here, and we're ending this A part with a D chord as well, so that's probably a pretty good indication that we're in the key of D. Also, another thing I want to notice about the music, you guitar players, is there is no 1s in the tablature. You don't see any number 1 anywhere here in the tablature. So that tells me that I don't need to catch anything in the first fret, right? So I might as well move to the second position and have my first finger catch the second fret, and second finger, third fret, third finger, fourth fret, fifth finger, fifth fret. Okay, so it's just a more convenient position to be in. So that's something to notice when you look at the sheet music. If you don't see any ones, move to the second position. It's a lot easier to catch these notes. Again, we're in 4/4 time. We repeat down here, the A part. You see that down there with those two little dots. So now let's go to the B part. So now we see the B part. We see our 4 quarter notes in the first measure here. 1, 2, 3, 4 in our 4/4 time. We also see down here, we see some, let me back up, we see an 8th note here, and then we see some 8th notes here. That's a divided quarter note. That's a 1 and divided quarter note. Also, we have a whole note at the end of the B part here that takes 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, we have our repeat sign. We repeat the B part as well. 2 A's, 2 B's is typical of a fiddle tune, of course. So now let's go to our demonstration. Okay, now it's time for the demonstration on the guitar while everybody else backs me up. This is Soldier's Joy. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember that for your guitar pickers and your mandolin pickers, that the pick direction and pick strokes are very, very important. All your quarter notes in your music and your half notes and your whole notes are a downstroke. And your 8th notes, which are, remember, those notes that are tied together, the fast notes, are a down-up. Down, 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 up. Down, 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 up, down, down. Okay, can't do 2 things at the same time, it seems like. But anyway, so that, remember, that pick direction is very, very important. Okay, so now it's time to demonstrate our fiddle and our mandolin. So why don't we take a look at the sheet music now for both of those instruments. Okay, now we see the sheet music for Soldier's Joy for the fiddle and the mandolin. The first thing we want to notice is what key we're in. Let's go to the standard notation for that. We see 2 sharps over there, so we're in the key of D. We also, our first chord is a D chord, so that's a good indication as well. For you fiddlers, we have standard notation because you don't have any frets, right? So you need to read the standard notation. Remember, your bowing symbols up here, the little thing that looks like a staple is a down bow, and then we have an up bow up here, that V. Is an up bow. Also, right down below me, we see a slur, what's called a slur. This is an up bow with a line across 2 notes. That means you don't change your fiddle, your bowing direction. It's an up bow through 2 notes. Otherwise, you're bowing down, up, right, as you change the notes. So that's something a little different there. Let's go to the B section. The B section pretty much looks the same. We're starting out with 4 quarter notes here, 4 quarter notes with the tab. Remember, we've got a half note down here at the very end. The 5 there is a half note, so that counts for 2 beats. So make sure your timing is good on that. So I think we're ready for our demonstration for Soldier's Joy. So now it's time for the demonstration of the fiddle and the mandolin. Steve, are you ready on the fiddle?
I'm ready.
And Linda, are you ready for the mandolin demonstration?
Yeah.
Great. So the rest of us are going to back them up, and you at home, if you're playing the mandolin or fiddle, please follow along during the demonstration. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's time for the demonstration on the banjo, but first, let's take a look at the sheet music for the banjo. Okay, now we have the sheet music for Soldier's Joy for the banjo. First thing I want us to notice is up here is the tuning. We have an A, so we have to tune up to an A, or if you've got your little railroad tie thing, you just clip it on that first railroad tie, that gets your fifth string into an A. So we have A, D, G, B, D, okay, for your tuning up here. So pay attention to that. We are in the key of D. We don't have any capos. We're just going to use that tuning. And then we've just got single notes here for you banjo players. We're just going to play single notes. We do have a forward and a backward roll right down here, right down below me. And you'll see below that, you'll see 4, 2, 1. Those are the fingers in the left hand that you want to put down for your forward roll and backward roll. And you just keep those fingers down and you just go right on through the roll. Let's go to the B part. The B section's pretty much the same thing from what I see. Remember, we have that forward, backward roll again. Also, I want to mention we've got just one note. Remember, that's 4 counts. When you have one note, you still have to go through the whole measure. 1, 2, 3, 4 gets a 4 count. 2 A's, 2 B's, watch your repeat signs there. And now let's go to our demonstration. Okay, now it's time to demonstrate the banjo. Elliot, are you ready for the banjo demonstration?
Yes.
Great. So we're going to have that. You banjo pickers at home, follow along with Elliot. And then we're going to do all skate. We're just going to play the tune over and over again so we all can get some practice on that. So, are we ready for Soldier's Joy? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. next week for Bury Me Beneath the Willow. Download it on Taborgrass.com. Download your music home so you can follow along. Bury Me Beneath the Willow is our next assignment, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us on Play Along with Taborgrass. We'll see you next week.